We are here at Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation. We're in the main lobby, and this recent addition behind me is this beautiful antique bicycle. You've heard of Samuel T. May. You've heard of May Hall, of course. Samuel T. May is who that facility is named after. This was once his bicycle, and it came home to Dickinson State University. Hi, I'm Wild Bill. This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson. And we're going to talk to Kyle Smith, who holds the Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation near and dear to his heart. And he has some exciting things to talk about today on the program. They're doing a big renovation at the Ag Department. The classrooms are getting a facelift and being brought into the 21st century, as is the arena. It's a big project, and Kyle is pretty darn excited about it. And while we've got him here, we're going to talk about the rodeo team and, of course, the Blue Hawks football team and find out how they're doing. That'll be coming up. Kyle Smith, our guest today here on Western Edge Living. Before we get to Kyle, we're going to talk to a young man who is a physician assistant at CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson. Travis Booke is from Dickinson, North Dakota, and he's very proud of his career choice at CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson, and he's going to tell us about vaccinations. Now, I know some people don't get vaccinations, some people do, and others are pretty vocal about their choice. And we're going to talk about that with Travis coming up in the program. But what he's most excited about, well, first of all, he's worn many hats. He's been an EMT in Billings County and, of course, the physician assistant. But the one hat that he wears that he is most proud of is that of being dad. Wait till you hear the story of his 5-year-old daughter and the journey that they've been on. And he tells this story with a smile on his face. I get a little emotional just thinking about it, and you'll see why. Coming up on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson. And call up the neighbors, tell them to turn on the TV, because Western Edge Living starts now. CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson presents Western Edge Living.
Western Edge Living.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Medora Boot and Western Wear in the heart of historic Medora. Open 10 to 5 every day, but closed Tuesdays. Boot is their middle name, and they have over 1,500 pairs of boots in stock for all ages and sizes. They also have the all-new Higher Boot with many new styles, Western clothes, belts, caps, hats, and more, including a great line of toys and Longhorn wall decor. Medora Boot and Western Wear for the cowboy and cowgirl in you.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
At Poncheros, we put a lot of work into building every burrito to last for about 10 minutes. Poncheros. Come build your better. At Poncheros, every tortilla starts as a small ball of dough. Then it's fresh pressed to perfection. That's just how we do it. Poncheros. Come build your better.
And we made it back to the studio. Hello, I'm Wild Bill. This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson. And employed at CHI St Alexius Health is our guest today, Travis Booke. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
We've known each other. We go way back, like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah. Well, we've known of each other, I think, is more appropriate. But
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Booke, that's a Dickinson name.
Correct.
Born and raised.
Yep.
And
Born and raised in Dickinson. Here, went to DSU. Went to Trinity High School, DSU. Was at BSC for a little while when I got my paramedic. Went to UND for my PA, and I worked ambulance in town here for quite some time, and then moved over to your neck of the woods over in Billings County and worked there for several years before I went and ended up at the hospital now.
Well,
So-
we miss you in Billings County. We do.
Well, they do. I know the guys that work out there. There's a good group of them, and they do good
Yeah.
work. So yeah.
They're very active. They do a lot of
Yeah.
training, and we're very fortunate to have them out
Yeah,
there. But
sure.
PA, that's physician assistant,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
What is that? What is
So PAs, a lot of people are familiar with nurse practitioners, but they're not quite as familiar with like a PA.
Okay.
And it was actually PA week here a couple weeks ago, so plug to that. But we practice medicine. We're in all of the different specialties. We do. I personally am a hospitalist, so I deal with inpatient medicine. So people that are admitted to the hospital, we're in the emergency department. We're in surgical specialties, cardiology, you name it, we have it. But we practice medicine. We assist the physicians and the doctors, and handle a lot of the things that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, a lot of us work very closely with PAs, NPs, and physicians. We will refer them as necessary to the different specialists and work real tightly together.
What I'm gathering is a physician's assistant helps the physicians themselves work more efficiently.
Yeah. I mean, you could say,
That's
yeah.
safe to say?
We still see, in the primary care realm and even the specialty realms, we still see our own patients. A lot of them, work independently, but we do have that physician backup there, and we assist them, and they assist us, too. So it kind of goes both ways, but.
Okay. How long have you been at CHI St Alexius?
I've been there for 7 years now.
7 years,
Yep,
and
yep.
you were with Billings County for 5 years prior
About
to
5
that?
years, yep. And then in Dickinson Ambulance for around 3 years. Yep.
Okay. Why the switch? What prompted you? Just time to make a lifestyle change? or-
I liked the rural aspect of Billings County.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, at that time, they only had one paramedic who had just got going. I wanted to kind of be part of the ground up as they were building their program out there.
Right.
And I loved it, but I always wanted more. I just wanted to have a little more knowledge and a little more hands-on. So that's when I decided to go back to school.
So there was some education
for sure.
required
Yep,
before.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a master's level degree that you have to get for a PA to work. In the
Did you
hospitals.
say UND?
Yep, UND.
UND,
Yep,
okay.
yep. So yeah, it's right in the medical school. We do. They have a really good program. It's oddly enough, it's one of the original PA programs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been around for a long time, but it's the only PA program in the state.
Okay, wonderful. And gosh, you wanted to talk about vaccinations, flu
Yeah,
vaccinations. It's that time of year
Yeah,
where
yeah,
a lot of the communities in North Dakota are pushing vaccination for flu and COVID. Should you?
Yep.
A lot of people, since the COVID, you know where this is going,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of people a little reluctant to get the shots. What do you say to those people?
So really, realistically, what it boils down to, and I just want to start with saying, there's still a lot of basic things that we can do too.
Mm-hmm.
Hand washing, staying home if you're sick, things like that can really go a long ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, a lot of this is kind of an individualized approach is what I say is, looking at how high risk you are. Are you caring for people that are high risk? Do you have elderly parents or grandparents that you're taking care of? You yourself, do you have, asthma, COPD? Do you have heart issues? And then just talking it over with your doctor or your primary care provider, that's really a good spot to start. Especially if you're reluctant to look into getting it, they can present you some data, especially individualized to you. They know you better than anybody, so they can kind of individualize and direct you on which direction you should go. With the flu shots, we obviously recommend those. Every year, it's kind of a educated guess on what's going to be the predominant strain. We look at what's been going on in the southern hemisphere and kind of adapt and adjust what we're going to be vaccinating for. Some years we're right on the money. Some years we're a little bit off. But ultimately, even if we're a little off, it still helps you in the long run.
Okay. So having said that, Travis, what are you looking at in the fall of 2024? Have you done the studies from the southern?
Well, yeah. I mean, I personally didn't do the studies, but
Okay.
I know the people that are the higher ups and the scientists that are looking at the different strains, because it's not just everybody hears influenza A and influenza B,
Right.
and there's many different strains. Back you heard of the H1N1, that was the one that everybody was afraid of. There's different variations like that, and it's a combination of letters and numbers. So they do kind of adapt it to depending on what we're thinking is going to happen. Then in addition to that, we also have RSV, we have COVID, we have just general viral illnesses that are out there. So we do tend to see a lot higher number of people coming in the hospital having respiratory symptoms, things like that in the fall. So if we can do something like vaccinations to try to lessen the amount of people coming in, lessen the duration of symptoms, and lessen your chances of getting very sick from it, that's what we support.
So you're recommending people strongly consider getting vaccinated?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I get my flu shot every year. I'm COVID vaccinated. I wouldn't be pushing it if I didn't do it myself and didn't recommend it. And I tell my loved ones, my family members to do that as well.
Glad you brought that up. Loved ones, family members, stalked you out on Facebook.
Oh boy!
And
yeah.
I friend requested
Yeah,
you. You still haven't accepted
I
yet.
did.
What's the
I
deal,
did. Yeah.
Travis?
No, I did. I actually giggled a little when I saw that pop up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your wife, you have a beautiful family.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
What does your wife do?
So my wife works at a dental office here in town. She's
Okay.
the office manager for that.
All right.
Yep. She's been working there for quite some time. Yep.
And I'm going to go out on a limb. Of all the titles that we've talked about that is associated with the name Travis Booke, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say the one title that you're most proud of is that of dad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tell us about your little girl.
Yeah, so I have a little girl. She's 5 years old now. Brenna Grace is her name. She came into the world a little bit. We found out we were pregnant. We waited a little bit because of me going to PA school and doing that.
Sure.
But she wasn't expected to survive when she was delivered. We actually went to Minneapolis to have her, and they found something wrong with the heart. They couldn't really tell us what, but they were afraid that essentially that her lungs didn't connect to her heart. And so when she was born, we really were not sure if she was even going to make it. Oddly enough, my wife went into labor on Labor Day, 2019, so that was kind of crazy. We went into the hospital, had a phenomenal team. She was born at Children's Minneapolis in Minnesota. Had a phenomenal team, many doctors, nurses, everybody. We delivered, or I shouldn't say we, like I had anything to do with it. My wife was obviously the main one there. But my wife delivered in a delivery room that was actually a surgical suite. My baby was born. We cut the cord. She cried a little bit, which terrified me because I knew they were telling us that her oxygen saturations were likely going to be very low. They whisked her away into the back room. Eventually called me in. I went in there. We were expecting saturations in the 60s, and I was told that by multiple physicians that we didn't think she'd be around very long, and her saturations were in the upper 80s on room air. And since then, she's had 5 open heart surgeries between Stanford, California, and Children's Minneapolis. She's had, I think, 7 or 8 now heart caths that's been done between Children's Minneapolis and Stanford. And she's on oxygen, but continues to grow, continues to just be amazing. She's my buddy, my best friend, and just the sweetest little thing ever. And continues to just, everybody, I have patients all the time that are asking how she's doing. They had a big benefit in the community a while ago. All the car dealerships came together, and if you know the car dealerships in town, they can be a little competitive. There's a good word. Yeah, competitive. And they all came together. They had a benefit for us and for her, which was absolutely amazing. And it's been she's been my biggest blessing and the best thing to ever happen to me.
Wow, what a story. She's 5 now?
Yep, 5. Yeah, just turned 5.
Going to preschool or
Yep,
anything?
so she's in early learners through the public school, so she's at the Hagen building, and then starts kindergarten next year. So it's been pretty crazy.
Harold and the Magic Purple Crayon's a great movie,
Yeah,
isn't
oh yeah,
it?
yep,
Isn't
yeah,
that great?
well, we've been doing lots of wiggles and yeah, there's lots of crazy stuff out there, YouTube videos and stuff. But she's a
Congratulations, Dad.
So, yeah, thank
that's
you. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
very
I can't
cool.
imagine what your last 5 years have been like.
Yeah.
And you did that whole story with a smile, so I knew that it was a positive ending. But
Yeah.
as we wrap up today, Travis, is there any questions that I haven't asked? Any information that you would like to share with our viewers today? Or
I mean, the biggest thing, is just we're here. if you need us. The hospital, we've been around for a long time. We'll continue to be around for a long time. It's a lot of your neighbors, friends, family, everybody taking care of everybody else. I'm very proud of where I work and what I do and how I do it. And, we're there. So if there's any questions, feel free to reach out.
I've talked to numerous employees at CHI St Alexius Health, and they all say the same thing. What a great place to work, and we're so fortunate to have people like you and the hospital in our community. It's a wonderful thing. So, Travis, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and we'll send them
time.
your way to get vaccinated.
Get fixed up. Yep, love it. Thank you, sir.
Travis Booke with CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson, our guest today. Going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation with my buddy, Kyle Smith. That's coming up next on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson.
I got 2 home runs.
You got 2 jacks.
And then my grand slam, I signed the ball for you.
Okay.
And it says, Papa, I love you.
Why did you do that?
Because you taught me everything about baseball.
I'm so sweet.
Service Pro Express Lube, now open on East Villar Dickinson, gets your vehicle serviced quickly and you're back on the road in no time. No appointment required. You don't even get out of your vehicle. They utilize Service Pro oil, the only oil produced and refined in the U.S., and it meets or exceeds vehicle manufacturer requirements. Plus, they top off all fluids and perform multi-point inspections. It's part of what's offered at Service Pro Express Lube. Students looking for a part-time gig? Inquire at Service Pro Express Lube. Ask about the Scholarship Incentive Program. Service Pro Express Lube, East Villar Dickinson, next to Lucky's.
IT problems have you down and you need to get back up and running? Then call the IT techs at Consolidated. Here's what our customers are saying.
Josh called moments after I sent my ticket in and resolved the issue in about 30 seconds after logging onto my computer. Very friendly and professional. Thank you.
Eric responded to our request very quickly and resolved the issue for us right away.
Great service from Brandon as always.
Amazing and helpful as always.
Let us help you with your IT issues. Call Consolidated Business Solutions 483-4000 today.
We thank you so much for watching our TV program. This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson. It started out, I believe, as Dickinson Teachers College, then it was Dickinson State College, and now it's Dickinson State University. There's a long heritage of that educational institution here in western North Dakota. And there is the Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation. And that's where this young man hangs his hat. It's Kyle Smith, the Director of Operations?
Nope, Development Officer for Athletics and Rodeo.
Ah, okay. The Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation. What is that? When somebody hasn't heard of it, what do you tell them?
The DSU Heritage Foundation is the 501c3 for Dickinson State University.
Okay.
We're tasked, our primary job is the extension into the community and to our alumni. Number one goal each year is to increase and raise the scholarship bill for our students. And then just recently in the last couple of years, we've been able to grow and expand and be able to get more aggressive in the capital side, project side.
Yeah, wonderful. There's some great things happening there, and I say that I can't wait to talk about the arena. There's been some talk for some time now about the indoor arena that's next to the Ag Complex there at Dickinson State University on the campus. You've got some big news coming your way from concerning that.
Yeah, we have officially started on that project. Rewind the clock a little bit to last summer. We were very fortunate to be getting a lot of support from our state legislator. The last time Dickinson State University got state appropriated funds for a construction project like this was to actually build the Ag and Tech building back in 1979, back in 1980. So for us to get a $17.1 million boost in that project from the state legislator to renovate the classrooms, to expand our arena, add some seating in there, do a little bit more creative envisioning of what the future will look like for that space. We were very fortunate. We've been able to take that and run, building in a lot of different shareholder opinions, getting a lot of opinions on how we can make that facility not only top-notch for our agricultural department, our rodeo team, but then also potentially other events, other people that come in with some ideas on what they would like to run, host an event there. So we've officially started moving dirt. Phase one of that is kind of getting the area around the building prepped, ready to roll. The crew is going to be starting to do the footers for the expansion building here shortly. That way we can start putting the building up. We don't have to wait for the ground to thaw out in the spring. The large building is on order, so we should be seeing that on the ground in about 5-6 months. And January 1st, that'll be the first official day when the classrooms will be gutted and the expansion team will begin their work.
The classrooms in the ag complex are going to be gutted?
Yep, so the educational side of that building, they're connected by a hallway there. The classroom side is going to get a complete redo. We're going to gut that, bring that into the 21st century, more modern learning environment. The classrooms that are in there now were designed in the 1970s. Technology's come a long way. The modern classrooms changed quite a bit, so we're going to update that space for those students, give it a fresh look, and at the same time, we'll be working on the arena side.
Let's back up a second here. Did you say $17.1 million?
So from the state level, it's an $18 million project. The way the Appropriations Committee likes to do this is to make sure you have some skin in the game from a local university side.
Okay.
So the state is giving us 17.1. Dickinson State University's got to come up with 900,000. Anybody that's ever worked on a construction project, after you sit down with your design team, you go through programming, the wish list and the want list, you got to figure out a way to balance the budget on that.
Yep, and then the realistic list needs to be revised a couple of times too, because everything, the prices change.
So after we sat down with our team on that, we came to a total project of about $23 million. So 17.1 of that from the state, and the remaining is going to be through private and corporate sponsorships.
Has the fundraising for the $900,000, has that begun?
Yes, we're more than halfway on our way for committed dollars for that project. Things have been going very great on that. It's opened a whole new door of alumni, a whole new door of corporate partners that we've never really engaged with at this high a level before. So to have those conversations, to build those relationships, has been a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, let's get into the cement tricks, if you will. You mentioned that you're bringing the ag complex into the 21st century. It was designed in the 70s. The indoor arena, it's basically just a big arena with a dirt floor as we've known it up till now. What is that going to be like? And besides equestrian events, rodeos and things, will there be other activities? Will that facility be conducive to those other activities besides rodeo?
So we have a number of equestrian classes on our books already. We hope to be able to expand that offering with the increased space. Part of the project, part of working with the city, part of working with the county on this, we are going to enclose some of the pens, some of the livestock circulation that we currently have on the outside of that building. This is just going to kind of clean up the look of our whole athletic block and being respectful to our neighbors and the surrounding neighborhoods right there, kind of get everything underneath one roof. We're not going to stand in the way of too many people with their entrepreneurial ideas on what they would like to host in there. We're not, and I want to state this, we're not doing motocross races. We're not doing monster truck. That's not the point of this building. But we want to make it as competitive of a recruiting tool for our rodeo team, for our ag department as possible. And much like all the other facilities we have on campus, if there's a will, there's a way, there's an idea, we're going to make the building available as best we can for those that want to come in and use it.
We're visiting in mid-October here. Are there any more rodeos scheduled yet in 2024 for the Blue Hawks?
So Blue Hawk Rodeo is a 2-semester sport. So they compete in the fall and they compete in the spring. They have one final rodeo this year. That is going to be down with our new rivals in Bismarck.
Yes.
NDSU dropped their home rodeo and the Mystics swooped in and picked up that weekend. So they're going to be down at Dale Paulke Arena this upcoming weekend.
Oh my!
So we'll be missing our Blue Hawks for homecoming, but we've had a very, very great, a very strong last 2 months of the rodeo season. Our women's team year after year continues to be in the top 2 in the region, and our men's team has had a strong couple rodeos to get them in the top 5.
Got some rough stock competitors that are standing out.
Yeah, we've so it's kind of feast or famine on the men's side. This year we've got a number of saddle bronc and a number of bareback riders where last year we didn't have any.
Okay.
So to see those numbers improve on our men's side has been very promising.
Who's the coach?
Udell Larson.
As he has been for years, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not going to venture to say the number of years, but I know we're well into the double digits.
Yeah, he's a wonderful, well-respected coach, and it's going to be an interesting rodeo. I know this is going to air after the rodeo, the Mystics rodeo, but I do know that John Peake is doing a great job with the Mystics, and so that's going to be I can see that becoming a regular rivalry, if you will, down the road. So.
Yep, a lot of exciting things are happening on the horizon with athletics and rodeo in the state of North Dakota right now, especially on the small school front. Dickinson State, Bismarck State are going to be two key parts to that as we move forward. The one thing about this weekend that I've heard from our student athletes on the rodeo team, the North Dakota kids are going to have a home field advantage on this one.
Okay.
With Dale Paulke Arena being a brand new facility. The kids from South Dakota, the kids from Iowa, Nebraska have not had any chance to compete at that facility before, where the North Dakota kids that compete in the NDRA have been there a time or two. The kids in high school, they've done a lot of competitions there, so they're going to have a leg up on how the animals react in the arena, the flow of the events.
Blue Hawk football. We're having a pretty decent year, aren't we?
Yep, we are in full swing. Homecoming this weekend. The Hawks are going for 10 consecutive conference championships as we kind of close the page on the NSAA era and go to the Frontier Conference next year. We're not truly leaving the NSAA. The NSAA and the Frontier are merging. So we're going to make a very strong athletic conference with our neighbors to the west.
Okay, all good. You've got a great job, don't you? I mean, you're building an arena, you're revamping a classroom, you've got a great rodeo team, and you're having fun, aren't you?
Every day is a new adventure. Dickinson State's played a big part in my life. They took a chance on a kid from Colorado back in 2007, and just when you don't go away, sometimes they just start paying you to do the jobs you were doing as a volunteer. So I've been very fortunate in that regard. I've got a great support system. My wife, she puts up with a lot of late night phone calls, weekend events, so I'm very fortunate for that. But
you've got young children too, don't you?
Yep, 5 and 7.
Oh my! So at 7 o'clock in the Kyle Smith household, it's chaos, isn't it?
It's getting home from hockey, it's practicing our spelling words, and it's getting ready for bed.
It's all good. It's all good. You wouldn't change a thing, would you?
Nope. Having my kids be able to experience the great student athletes that we have at Dickinson State is probably one of the best parts.
Yeah.
They're not shy around the college kids, and they get an experience that not many get to have.
We thank you for coming in today and visiting with us here on Western Edge Living. And before we turn you loose, Kyle, is there any questions that I haven't asked? Is there any information you think our viewer might be interested in before we sign off for today?
Just to reiterate, everything we do at the DSU Heritage Foundation is because of the people that support the university and the student athletes and just your regular student. We're simply that conduit to making people's generosity come to life. Last year, we were able to produce $1.4 million in scholarships for our students. We hope to keep increasing that every year. Right now, about 55% of our students receive some sort of scholarship from the foundation. We always want to grow that percentage. We want to make college an affordable experience and an enjoyable experience, and we're just a conduit. We're there because there's enough generosity in our community and around the nation that graduated from Dickinson State to be able to make that possible.
He is the Development Officer of Athletics and Rodeo at Dickinson State University Heritage Foundation. He's Kyle Smith, and I thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Good luck with everything going forward. I appreciate you coming in, and we'll visit again. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. If you've got an idea for an episode of Western Edge Living, send an email to bill@westernedgelivingtv.com. I'd love to hear from you. A big thank you goes out to CHI St Alexius Health Dickinson, our sponsor, our presenting sponsor of Western Edge Living here on Consolidated and West Dakota Fox. Thanks for watching.
Western Edge Living.